Greetings, family. Hope you guys are doing well. And I apologize for missing my usual upload. I've been dealing with some minor family issues lately, and it set me back just a little bit, but I'm back now. I don't want to dwell on that, so please. Sorry. But I do have some really great information for you. If you're a wig girly like me, then I think you'll really benefit from this admittedly long video. So hopefully you'll stick around for all the juicy tea. Maybe not juicy, but at least it's important. How about that? Important to girls like us. Anyways, if you've been following my channel for some time, then thank you and welcome back. Just water and glue. And if this is your first time here, then you may be happy to know that in this video I will be sharing all the information I've learned about wigs after conducting a 5-year wig experiment. I'm Action Jacqueline, your fellow alopecia princess and big bald-headed sister, and thank you for joining me. Some of you may be seeing me for the first time, so I'm going to go ahead and address the big elephant in the room. I have alopecia universalis. That is a hair loss condition that I've been living with for just about my entire life. Alopecia means hair loss. Universalis means all over. And when you put those two words together, it basically just means that I have no hair on my body whatsoever. Universalis is the most severe form of alopecia a person can have. It is a cosmetic condition, and it's not associated with any health issues. So I'm just as healthy as any normal person with a full head of hair. I know that's hard to believe, but it's true. So, okay, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about this experiment and the purpose of this experiment. Oh, but first, let's talk about this wig. It is the Zayla wig by What Lace, and I have her in color Flamboyage Blonde. So there you have it. Now, without further ado, let's talk about this 5-year wig experiment. All right, so the purpose of this wig experiment was to figure out the best way to go about living life as a daily wig wearer while minimizing the stress and frustration that comes with trying new styles and new wig brands. I think seasoned wig wearers, we know that buying into a new style or a new brand, especially a new brand, is always a gamble. And it would make life so much easier if we had some idea of what to expect from wigs from brand to brand. Which wigs are great for a few wears and which are great for long-term wear. So we know where to put our money, you know what I mean? This really, it all boils down to money. We need to know which styles and which colors hold up best, how to maintain those styles. And of course, we have to optimize cost per wear of the wigs and reduce bad wig days, because bad wig days are awful days. Y'all know that, right? This study became very necessary to me because I noticed that I was spending way too much money on wigs and tossing them in the trash way too often. So to begin, let's quickly go over what I think is an affordable wig and what I think is not an affordable wig. An affordable wig, in my opinion, should not exceed $1,800. To some of you, that may seem like a lot of money, and it is a lot of money because as far as I'm concerned, an $1,800 wig must have a happy lifespan of at least 5 months for it to be worth the coin. And notice I use the term happy lifespan. That means that wig should make me happy for that entire 5 months at $1,800. And I'm talking about daily wear, y'all. Daily wear for 5 months. My monthly wig budget caps at $300. Anything more than that, in my opinion, is excessive. And in fact, for the past 6 months or so, I've not exceeded $200 per month on wigs, and I'm very proud of myself. I've been having an enjoyable, affordable wig experience. My appetite for frequent hairstyle changes is satiated, And if I play my cards right, I almost never have a bad wig day at that dollar amount. A bad wig day for me is any day that my wig looks stiff, tangles too often, is revealing. Wigs that tell on themselves. They basically scream, hey, look at me, I'm a wig. Those are the bad days that I'm referring to. And they really scar my soul. I'm not even kidding when I say that. I will pay money that I don't have to avoid a bad wig day. But anyway, I'm going on a tangent, so let me go back. I buy 4 $50 wigs per month, wear each wig for a week, and then I toss it in the trash after 7 wears. And that's how I spend my $200. That's how I spend $200 a month on wigs. That may seem wasteful, and it may be wasteful. Sometimes I can't lie. I think to myself, wow, what a waste. But it's my happy place, and being happy is really important, especially for girlies like us who don't have hair, because we have to be very mindful of our mental health when we have to live with such challenges. I've had a lot of people tell me that they hold on to their budget-friendly wigs for a full month, sometimes more. I'm not sure how they're doing that, because I just can't. I may be contributing to the short lifespan of my synthetic wigs because I wash them very often. And that's something I just won't compromise on. Synthetic wigs collect more dirt than human hair wigs, so they require more washing than human hair wigs. And in addition to that, the cheaper the fiber, the more dirt and oil it collects. You don't have to believe me, you can check that out online yourself, okay? Anyway, I wash my wigs straight out the box to get out the added pesticides, because yes, the companies do add pesticides to the wigs to keep the bugs from nesting inside of them. This is true for both human hair and synthetic wigs, by the way. At first I thought it was just a synthetic wig thing, but recent studies have proven that human hair wigs have them in there too. And those pesticides have been found to contain cancer-causing agents, so you do have to wash them. Funny thing, though, is you want the companies to add those pesticides to your wigs, because if they didn't add those pesticides, you'd receive wigs with bugs in them. Years ago, I visited a store in Manhattan, and when I walked in, there was a customer pointing out lice in one of the wigs to the store attendant. I didn't see the lice or the wigs for myself, but the store attendant didn't look like she was denying anything. So, you know, I walked right out that store, and I'll never forget that experience. Anyway, I wash a wig when I first buy it, and then if it's a budget-friendly wig, I wash it after every 3rd or 4th wear. And if it's a high-end synthetic, I wash it once per week. At one point, I wondered if I was being excessive by washing my wigs that often, but whenever I wash the wig, the wash water left behind is so murky that I just know I made the right decision. Who wants to wear a dirty wig? Dirty wigs are stiff, they're limp, and very unattractive. So whenever you notice that your wig is not moving with the wind as hair should, give it a wash and conditioning treatment with a product made specifically for wigs. Anyway, what I just described, that $200 for wig per month plan of action, that's my right now plan. And of course it could change at any time. And in fact, between 2023 and 2025, I wore almost exclusively high-end synthetic wigs from companies such as John Renault, Raquel Welch, Louis Fair, Gabor. There's others, I just can't think of them all off the top of my head, but these companies do a really great job at making high-quality synthetic wigs. The lace fronts are undetectable, the fibers are durable, they're soft, they behave like natural hair. And when I buy wigs from these companies, I get a happy lifespan of about 30 to 40 wears, as opposed to the 7 days that I get from a budget-friendly wig. Of course, that lifespan is increased for shorter wigs, but I toss mine out after 30 days because, like I said earlier, I cope very badly with a bad wig day. So I try to avoid them at all costs. So 30 days is my cap. My favorite high-end synthetic wig is the Zara wig by John Renault. And I don't think I'll ever stop buying this wig unless they stop making it. And I pray to God they never do, because I love this wig so much. This is the one that I have, and I have her in color Shaded Praline. I'll show you what it looks like. Give me a second. I put this wig on just to take it right back off. That's so weird, but that's so me. That's so me. Anyway, here we go. I'll show you what it looks like. And I should let you know that this wig is about 35 wears old. So I've worn this about 35 times in total, and those are full day wears, and this is how she looks after all that time. So in my opinion, that's really good. It's holding up really well. Yeah, I like her a lot. Let me show you what she looks like. Like I said, this one is in color Shaded Praline, if you're interested. It's got those nice roots. I think I may have messed up the hairline a little bit, fussing with it too much, but I think it still looks good. Anyway, I usually pay about $230 for this wig. And like I said before, I wore her almost exclusively for about 3 years. I would just buy a new one every month. I think I'll buy another one soon, because I do like this wig a lot. I might change the color. They come in a large array of colors. That's another thing I like about these high-end wig companies. They do really good with the color ranges, you know? I tried looking for alternative styles in the high-end wig brands, and I just couldn't find one that pleased me as much as the Zara wig. So I just defaulted to the budget-friendly wigs. I'm pretty happy there. All right, so let's talk about my decision to go blonde after spending my entire first 40 years on this planet as a dark-haired brunette. I talk about this a lot. So if you just can't stand to hear about it anymore and you click off right now, I forgive you. But I don't think you should. I don't think you should, because I'm about to touch on some talking points that I've probably never touched on before, and you may not want to miss it. I promise not to be too wordy either. Okay, so I turned 50 last October. Cat's out the bag. And sometime in my mid-40s, I noticed that my skin was changing. It was becoming thinner. My cheeks were less full. My color was becoming a bit more muted, and my eyes looked a bit more tired. You know, aging, right? So of course, like any other woman, I tried to hide those changes with makeup. And I bought a lot of makeup. I feel like I was in Ulta like every week for 6 months. But I noticed that nothing was making me look any younger. And I knew that I could look younger without surgery and without, you know, injections or procedures, but I just couldn't figure out how. And then something told me, try changing your hair color and see what happens. So at that time, I was wearing dark brown hair, like I said before, right? Usually like a 1B30, which is dark brown with auburn highlights, or a number 4, which is a dark to medium brown. So I ordered my then favorite wig. Sorry, am I too close to the screen? My then favorite wig in a color 99J, which is like a plum wine. And then I ordered another one in a red. I never received that red color. Instead, I accidentally received a platinum blonde wig with dark roots. And instead of returning it, I just decided, well, you know what, it's here, let me try it on before I return it. I tried it on and instantly fell in love with the blonde. Somehow, it removed the shadows from underneath my eyes. And it blended surprisingly easily at the hairline. And it also made me look really youthful, really youthful. Let me just show you what I mean when I say how easily blonde wigs blend. You see that? Just look at that. And this seems to go across the board, that It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what complexion you are. If you get a light color wig, that hairline just blends so much easier than dark roots. And you could try this for yourself. I don't care what complexion you are, all the way dark to all the way light. It works. It works. It may not be your best shade, and this may not be my best shade, but I would wear it. It is this girl right here. Her name is HHB Yaki 14, and I have her in sandy blonde. Let me move this out the way and show you the back. I do like this wig. Like I said, it may not be my best color, but just to be able to have a wig that doesn't require a headache every time you put it on, I think it's worth it. And it's not terrible. It's not a terrible color if you ask me. Anyway, so that's how I ended up a blonde. And I kind of knew from that point that I would always be a blonde. What I didn't know was how different my wig experience would be after choosing to wear blonde hair. Until that point, whenever I bought a human hair wig, I was careful to buy only virgin hair. Virgin Remy hair, as most of us know, is the best hair. It tangles the least and holds styles the best. Virgin obviously is hair that's been untouched, and Remy just means that all the cuticles are going in the same direction, so they're not confused in the wig, causing tangling. But bleached blonde hair is not virgin hair. Alternatively, bleached hair is usually damaged hair, especially because the hair is normally Asian in origin, and Asian people have black hair naturally. Try to turn black hair blonde, and 7 times out of 10, you're going to damage that hair. And this damage, by the way, is not exclusive to blonde hair either. So any color human hair wig that requires a lot of processing is at risk of damage. The bright reds, the new and popular pinks and blues. Bleaching hair is a lengthy process, and if it's done right, it should be done over a period of time, usually months. And if that process is rushed, you are going to end up with damaged hair. And unfortunately, these companies don't seem to care much about it. They will take the wig and bleach it in a day. They basically bulk bleach these wigs by dropping them in a vat full of bleach, right along with a bunch of other wigs, by the way. And then they leave it in that bleach and let it soak until the hair basically just turns yellow. Afterwards, they pull the wig out, tone it down to a desirable shade, and condition it and load it with a bunch of silicone and make it smell pretty and look real pretty and sell it for $300 to $400. And you, the consumer, buy it not knowing that it's damaged hair because it looks so pretty on the shelf. You take it home, and it doesn't take long before the damage starts to reveal itself. Sometimes it happens the day that you wear it. I've experienced that before, wearing a wig one time, and by the end of the day, it's just so horrible. It just literally makes you want to cry. And in fact, you might cry. Some companies do a decent job at dyeing wigs, though. My favorite company for buying human hair blonde wig is, again, Jon Renau, my favorite company. From Jon Renau, I can get a good blonde wig that has a daily wear lifespan, a happy daily wear lifespan of about 3 to 4 months. But after 3 or 4 months, the lace begins to bald. That's a thing, y'all, balding lace. And I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so this is a Scheidel wig. We'll get into Scheidels later on in the video. That I purchased from a wig maker. This wig was a great wig, and I wore it for about 2 months straight before I started to notice that it was balding. And I continued to wear it even after that. So in total, I probably got about 3 months wear out of this wig. But I did spend, I think I spent like $1,300 on this wig. And I would do it again. I would do it again, but $1,300 over 3 months, what is that? That's $400 a month. That's actually not terrible, you know, but there's options. There's other options, you know what I mean? If I wanted to buy into a human hair wig again, I would go with this brand. And unfortunately, I can't share with you the information. She's a personal seller, and I don't even have her number. She sells off of eBay, That's where I found her. Anyway, like I said, we'll get into this later. Let me just show you what it looks like when a wig balds, okay? So I had to move around my part a lot because it would bald in the parting area. Like, look how bald that is. Oh my God, that's so bald. So that I would move the part over here, and I could still wear it. I got the center part. I think I will. It's still a little bit bold. I don't know, but this is just something that you have to consider when you're gonna spend a lot of money on a human hair wig. Just know that no matter how good the quality of the hair is, this is gonna happen, and it happens consistently. I've gone through a lot of human hair wigs, y'all. Okay, I'm taking this off because this is bringing back like PTSD. I lost my hair once already. I don't want to relive that experience. I've heard people claim that they keep their human hair John Renault wigs for a year, sometimes 2 years of daily wear, but I honestly cannot fathom it. If they're referring to a full cap wig or a short or mid-length wig, then I guess I can believe that. But a long lace wig lasting a year of daily wear, I just can't imagine it. Let me know in the comments if you have any experience with this, and if you've ever been able to keep your lace wig for a full year of daily wear. I mean, wigs lose hair every day the same way that humans lose their hair every day. Humans lose between 75 and 150 strands of hair a day. And of course, wigs also lose hair, but wigs don't grow back. So how are you preventing the balding? I don't know. Maybe they just know something that I don't. Yeah, I'm still struggling with this hairline. I don't feel like getting too much into fixing this hairline either. Anyway, I've tried other brands, budget-friendly brands that are pretty decent at dyeing hair sometimes. I've tried Hair Vivi wigs, and they can sometimes do a blonde wig really well, but it's a gamble. When I was a brunette, I wore Hair Vivi wigs often, and I was happy with the quality of it. But when it comes to the blondes, sometimes they get it right, and sometimes they don't. You know, it's a gamble. A blonde Hair Vivi wig in the color and length and density that I like costs around $600, which is doable, in my opinion, but only if I luck up on a good one, which only happens about 50% of the time. I don't know if you want to risk doing that. Me, I don't think I want to be bothered. At this time anyway. Hair Vivi is the only budget-friendly wig company I've ever tried to purchase a blonde wig from, though. I've seen in real life women wearing blonde wigs from other companies like Love Me Hair and stuff like that, just to name one. But they seem to always be wearing a scarf or a hat over the wig, and the wigs always seem to look nice for special events, you know, and they take their bonnets off 10 minutes before they go out. And it only seems to look good that day. I mean, I could be wrong. You guys let me know. But in my experience, I just don't do well with these blonde wigs from budget-friendly companies. It's a hit or miss, and I don't think I want to take the misses. Not when it comes with my coin, with my money. The good news is that if you wear natural black wigs, they're sold everywhere. They're usually fairly priced. They look nice, they're long wearing, and if you feel like you want to let a professional bleach a natural black wig for you, that professional will likely not damage the hair in the same way that a careless wig manufacturer might damage it. So if brunette is your color, you'll have a much easier time finding a good human hair wig. As for me, I really like blonde wigs. So the way I've chosen to wig is to buy only synthetic wigs or occasionally human hair wigs from independent wig makers. That, in my opinion, is the best way to go. I found a couple of wig and scheitel makers, the one, for instance, that I showed you earlier, on eBay and on Etsy, and I've been pleased with their pricing and the quality of their wigs. But again, if it's lace, the lace will bald after a few months, just like the one I just showed you. I have a ton of wigs that are bald that I can't wear. So I promise you I'm not making this up, okay? Scheitels, by the way, or Sheetles, I might be pronouncing it wrong. They're wigs worn by married Jewish women. In Jewish culture, a woman's hair is considered sensual and should only be enjoyed by a woman's husband. So when a practicing Jewish woman gets married, she'll usually be gifted a sheitel by her husband's family. Scheitels are normally very well made, and the hair is often sourced from the heads of European women as opposed to normal wigs that are usually sourced from the heads of Asian women. So these women actually naturally grow lighter color hair, so the color is more along the lines of what I'm looking for and has undergone less processing than bleached Asian hair. That's why I would spend the money on that, and I usually find them somewhere under $1,500. So knowing what I know, I would do it if I wanted a human hair wig bad enough. My only issue with Scheitels is they're not offered it very often in lace wigs. They normally come like full cap or with like skin top. Have you ever seen that before? And I'm just not enticed by those. I do have one here, and you know what? I will show you what it looks like. This is it. But I noticed that when I wear this particular Scheitel, I don't know, it might be damaged. It might be damaged as well, because by the end of the day, it just doesn't seem to hold a curl well. I don't know. And for that reason, I just don't reach for this wig as much. But when I put it on, it looks really pretty. And let me show you what that looks like. This one has it's a full cap wig with a skin top. And I remember the lady, so she said, oh, I have one that's lace. And then she showed me this one. And I'm like, where's the lace? And then she showed me it had like a ½ inch of lace. Can you see it? It's like hiding right there at the front. So funny. And I was just like, okay, thanks for the lace wig. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Hang on. Well, I guess this is not the best representation. This has been sitting in a bag for some time, but it is cute once I've styled it. But like I said, for some reason it doesn't hold a curl very well, and I'm guessing it's because it's damaged. Even Scheitels, you have to worry about that. You see that? Like I do remember before I packed this away, I did put some curls in here and they just didn't stick. And look how rigid it is, and it's clean. I can tell it's clean because it smells super fresh, so I know I cleaned it. I don't know. That's wigs for you. This is why I don't really mess with human hair wigs that much. They give a lot of problems. I do like it. I do like it. Like, I want to like this wig because something about it is really attractive. Anyway. Lastly, I'd like to share with you my experience with specialty hair replacement services, because I have been a customer of such services before. The service I tried was Hair Club. You've probably heard about this company before because it's been around for decades. I was actually a Hair Club customer when I was about 22 years old. Back then the company was called Hair Club for Men. Does that sound familiar?
And by the way, I'm not only the Hair Club president, but I'm also a client.
Because of the name, I should have known that they couldn't do much for me, but I sashayed into that hair club building anyway. And I let the salesperson convince me that they could make all my hair dreams come true. And she showed me photos of all these happy female customers and told me that she'd take pictures of me and my particular kind of hair loss, and then she would discuss it with a panel of experts. She took me to a private room and she proceeded to make a mold of my head by wrapping a bunch of saran wrap and tape around my head. And then she took the mold and gave it to a specialist. And you know what the specialist did? She made me a wig. Just a wig. I mean, albeit a good wig, it was just a wig. It was just like a full lace wig, something that I could get today, probably for like $600. But then I paid $2,165 for it, and I remember that number because I was in disbelief. $2,165, trust me, was a lot of money in 1997, especially for a 22-year-old who didn't make that much money. So anyway, that was my first experience with lace wigs, and the agreement was I would go back once a month to have services done, and the services included ventilation, which is adding new hairs in so that we wouldn't get the balding that I just talked about, and washing and conditioning it. But honestly, that once a month just wasn't enough. For me to be happy with that service, I would have had to go back every 2 weeks, because I was wearing that wig 24/7, y'all. It was basically cemented to my head with a glue that to this day, I don't know what it was, but you could not take that off without soaking it first. Otherwise, you would rip your skin. I slept in that wig. I worked in it. I played in it. And I was into sports at that time. I was doing karate. I was riding motorcycles. I mean, I lived. Okay. So yeah, I was experiencing balding all the time with that wig, and I was constantly moving the part around. So my hair was never looking exactly the way I wanted it, unless I was fresh from the salon, you know, and that was only once a month. And I couldn't afford to go any more often than that, because that was not in the contract, and the price was a lot. I remember that as well. Anyway, I kept that wig for about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 6 months. It wasn't a full year, I don't think. And then I didn't bother with the company anymore after that. I just started wearing wigs again, which I was already used to, so it was no big deal. But about 6 years ago, I revisited that office to see if they had anything new to offer. And they didn't, but they did offer a better package. For $7,000 a year, I could have the same service, the same kind of wig again, cemented to my head, but every 3 months I would be given a new wig. So that works out to be about $600 a month when you include tips, right? $7,000 a year. That's expensive, but it may be worth it just to have a nice salon to go to and someone else to fuss over my hair. You know, I don't know. I'm still considering it, to be honest, because I kind of liked the service, and it would be nice. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I like doing my own hair. Nobody seems to get my hair exactly the way I want it, even when I do visit a salon. And I do visit salons from time to time. But whenever I come back, I'm always with the scissor, restyling it, you know? Anyway, guys, that's about all I've got for you now. I know that this was a long video, but I did promise to give you the findings of a 5-year study, so you had to know that it would be a long one, right? If you stayed this long, then please know how much I appreciate you. You are the reason I come on this platform and expose my truth the way that I do. And I love you guys so much just for being here for me. I learn from you guys. I get confidence from you guys, and it gives me some purpose in life. You know what I mean? So I'll make sure that you share this video with someone you love, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you so much, and take great care of yourselves. Until next time, peace. Mwah.
I'll send you the booklet along with a full color supplement showing before and after photos of real hair club clients. So call now for your free copy. And by the way, I'm not only the hair club president, but I'm also a client.